So, have you ever felt like you built a success, landed the dream job, took all the right steps, but inside something still felt off, misaligned? You're not alone because I've also been there and I've repurposed every piece of it. So, my name is Isabel Varela. I spent over 25 years in the fashion industry, corporate fashion, celebrity, master tailor, high end design. Then I burned it all down to become a transformational holistic business coach and shamanic practitioner. I decluttered everything: my career, my beliefs, my stories, my shame, my identity, my energy. And I transformed it into a movement called Repurpose Your Life. And I help visionary women do the same. So if you haven't heard this story, grab your coffee, grab some tea, and let's start. Anyone here ever watch Sex in the City? If you have, tell me down below, who was your favorite character? Well, I was trying to be the Latina Carrie Bradshaw, keeping all the credit card companies in check with 7 maxed out credit cards. I had over $100,000 in debt, mostly from clothes and shoes. And at one point, I owned nearly 300 pairs of shoes, some that I only wore once a year. And it took me 7 years to pay that off in 2018. But what I really paid off was the cost of being out of alignment, not connected. I had to declutter old identities, the stories of not being enough, of not belonging, of not being accepted, of chasing worth outside of me and chasing worth through perfection. I also had to declutter all the titles, the awards, the accolades, the designer labels. I let it all go. But before I even hit rock bottom, I was successful. On the outside, I was a well-known fashion designer in Dallas, Texas, and I had my own studio in downtown Dallas. I was dressing celebrities. I was on magazines and TV. I had everything. I even had my fashion brand called Isabel that was in 5 stores. It was a women's wear brand, very tailored pieces. I even got all the way to New York, showing in New York Fashion Week twice and being featured in Vogue magazine. But on the inside, I felt disconnected. But once I cleared off the debt, yes, my friends, I paid everything off by 2018. I went deeper. I built 3 businesses. I created an award-winning documentary, and I stepped into my soul's work, which is called Repurpose Your Life. And this Repurpose Your Life came from my own transformation, from turning pain into purpose. And I took 3 initial steps, which became the actual framework for everything that is behind Repurpose Your Life. Number 1, declutter what's no longer aligned to you. Step 2, repurpose your pain into power, repurposing all your stories, your trauma, your wounds into wisdom. And then step 3, transforming and rising into your power, into your truth, into your leadership, and into your purpose. And now I work with high achieving women who've already done the personal growth work, but still feel blocked. The ones starting second careers, the ones working in corporate while building a business on the side, the ones recovering from burnout, feeling the call to serve others, to build something even greater than themselves, and to make an impact in their community locally and globally. If this sounds like you, and you also know you're meant for more. But with Repurpose Your Life and the work that we do here, and this new LinkedIn Live series that is launching today, Beyond the Hustle, we're going to be looking at all the clutter that is blocking us: the energetic, the emotional, financial, the spiritual, not just the physical aspects. Because I strongly believe our home, our physical aspects, is also a mirror to what is happening internally. And what I do with all my clients, I help you clear it, help you build a strategy and the roadmap to scale your business But we just don't start there, because this is what makes everything really stand out with Repurpose Your Life. If your emotional, mental, and energy isn't clear, if your mindset is blocked, no strategy, no roadmap will work to the point where it's sustainable. It won't stick. So we turn that fear into courage, we turn doubt into clarity, and we build from alignment, from congruency. And this series is called Beyond the Hustle, because in the world and the times that we're living in, it's so important to really step in, slow down, check in with ourselves. And in this series, I'm going to be diving into the business energetics, feminine leadership, time and energy mastery, and what real aligned success looks like for women, for companies, for this new era of leadership. And I also work with organizations, not just small businesses. This includes leadership training, corporate workshop, executive coaching, and wellness. And I've spoken at Bloomberg Philanthropies, NYU, Columbia, and I've been featured on CNN, Reuters, New York One. But Beyond the Hustle is something that I feel is so needed right now, especially with the times and what these times are calling us for all of us to really listen to the whispers and to the nudges. So if you're a leader, an entrepreneur, a visionary company, if you're done with the hustle culture, because we're done with that here, tired of performing success while feeling stuck underneath, inside, this series is for you. So I invite you to follow along, join the conversation, and share this with someone who really needs to hear it. Because here we're changing the way we talk about success. Because to me and Repurpose Your Life and all of our community members, success isn't just about money. It is money and wealth, but in a new way. Time with your friends, with your family, to enjoy the things that you like to do. Spending time outside in nature. Your health, because health is wealth. All the way to having the option to go to a 5-star restaurant, telling all your friends, I got it. Booking that vacation that's been on hold for so long because, no, I need to finish this and I have to make sure to meet these deadlines. I was at that point where I continued to meet those deadlines. But while meeting those deadlines, I felt resentful because I didn't make that time to actually enjoy the fruits of my labor. And that's why I understand, because as a high achieving woman, we're always going to the next thing. We're striving higher. We're meeting the next goals. What we say, we do. When we have a vision, we execute. But sometimes in that doing, reaching higher, we forget that just being is one of the most important things. And one of my mentors that passed last year, he would always say this: I appreciate you for who you are, not just what you do. And that is one of the many affirmations that goes along with everything that I teach in Repurpose Your Life. Because it's so important to recognize, to stop, and to really understand being, just being, is enough. So my friends, I invite you to join the Beyond the Hustle series. Today is the kickoff. I'm very excited to be doing this series on LinkedIn. I will also be streaming on YouTube and in Facebook if you are following me on any of those. But stay tuned. I will be doing these series twice a month, and then eventually moving into once a week. And before I end, I will also be interviewing women leaders, powerhouses that are building social impact businesses the ones that are building from the heart, the ones that are making an impact and when their community locally and globally. If you are one of those entrepreneurs, you may know one of them, one of those companies, please DM me or share this with someone else and recommend them, because I would love others to hear their story, because there's so many unseen and unsung heroes that are doing beautiful things in our world, and their story needs to be highlighted, because it also helps others to feel inspired, to know that they too can do this and they too can help others by sharing their gifts and talents. So here at Beyond the Hustle, we're changing the way we talk about success, and this is just the beginning. So for everyone, thank you so much for joining, all of you listening to the replay. I can't wait for what's in store.